Hello. Before we start today's episode, if you would like a condensed version of what I'm talking about in this podcast, go ahead and subscribe to the Perfectionist Guide. You can read the entire thing in 3 minutes or less. To access this, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/newsletter. Are you a bit of a perfectionist, type A, hyper performer? Then you know that having the audacity to see an ideal and bring it into reality while breaking generational habits of hustle can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. If you are ready to burn bright instead of burning out, to lead without losing yourself, and to enjoy the life you have worked so hard to create, then keep listening. I'm your host, America's leader on rewiring perfectionism, CLG, and this is Perfectionism Rewired, the podcast. Welcome to Perfectionism Rewired, looking at how we sabotage. It's not like, oh my God, I'm self-sabotaging. Because when you do that, you're basically making yourself helpless. And like, we don't do that around here. My literal crusade that I will be doing until I'm 130 years old is to make you realize how powerful you are and that there is way more power inside you than anything else that exists in the outside world. And like together, we are just shattering those illusions. Everything in life is a power negotiation. And I want you to think of your inner saboteur as your guardian of empowerment or disempowerment, two sides of the same coin. And the saboteur is a mechanism that activates every time we have an opportunity to either empower ourselves or empower someone else. It can be the littlest little question. Let's say your partner asks you, what do you want to eat? And you know what you want to eat. You're like, oh my God, I really want pad thai. But maybe your partner doesn't like Thai food, not their favorite. So you decide, I'm going to give him an answer that makes him happy. I know my partner loves pasta, even though I really don't like Italian food for the most part. And so what you do is you answer with something that makes them happy. Like, oh, I don't know, whatever you want to order. Or like, oh, weren't you saying earlier that you wanted Italian food? What you do in that moment, that little microscopic moment right there, is you are sabotaging yourself. You are betraying yourself. The reason why is because our subconscious and our unconscious rules, they are the governing party. 95%, at least 95%, the latest neuroscience reports are saying. Conscious brain, what you're aware of, what I'm speaking to you with right now, that is only in charge of 5% of us at most, 3 to 5%. So the 95% of us, that's who we need to get on board. That 95%, say this to all my private one-on-one coaching clients, it's not rational. It's not logical. It's not linear. And it speaks in symbolism and also has zero sense of humor. And it records everything that we say and think. So we got to be careful with ourselves in the best way. And what it's doing in that little microscopic moment about ordering takeout is it believes that it is safer for you to disempower yourself than empower yourself. I decided to slow-mo that moment for you because self-sabotage, when you do it, you don't even realize that you're doing it like so habitually. You don't even consider, oh, I'm betraying myself because I don't want to deal with the potential consequences of doing something more truthful. Vintage CLG used to do this all the time, especially in my relationships, because I didn't have the self-concept to fully be myself. So I would be whoever the other person wanted me to be. Those of us that have open G centers, we know this is a puddle that we can easily fall into. And what you do is you turn into a reflection of the other person. You do whatever makes them happy because you're like, if they're happy, I'm happy. But then what happens behind the scenes in your subconscious and in your unconscious is self-loathing gets engaged and the resentment builds and you get passive aggressive and you get frustrated and you get bitter. At the end of the day, you can't play hooky with yourself and get away with it. your inner saboteur is coming from the underworld and is bringing you something from your subconscious. That's why it is clutch to have a guide like me in your corner who can speak subconscious and unconscious to understand why you are self-sabotaging. What are the power dynamics here? What part does not feel that it is safe or that it is better to contract and to disempower? Because that is just an illusion. It is just an illusion. It is never safer to disempower yourself. Never, ever, 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 ever. Is that All Saints, that song? Never, ever, ever, ever felt so low. Once you deal with your inner saboteur, you have like supervision. You can actively see, oh, I'm sabotaging my opportunity here. I'm avoiding, and it's little things, right? Like, oh, I'm not calling this person back. You become conscious of the fact that you are deliberately doing this to yourself, and you can no longer blame. Just like poof, it's gone. The number one reason I find clients will cling to the inner saboteur is because they want to hold on to their package of excuses and blame. Blame your childhood, my hormones, blame, like, my whole thing is I'm not saying let's pretend that we're robots, but I'm just saying that just choose that you will empower yourself. Like, I am stronger than my circumstances, and that I will learn to work with what pops up in my life than suddenly becoming flaccid, being like, I was supposed to do this today. Also, that's like sign that it's your inner saboteur is it will say, we can just do this tomorrow. Let's just wait. Let's not do this now. We need to research this more. Oh, it's not perfect yet. Do you really think you can do that? What if you fail? I don't know about that. What is that person going to think? Procrastination is your inner saboteur. Anytime that you give in to excuses, anytime that you betray your word to yourself, like all of my private one-on-one clients, they are not flaky. They're like the friend that you want as your emergency contact. They are like the most giving and brilliant people. But when it comes to themselves, a lot of the time, it's like, well, I'll just eat crumbs. And it's like, no. Because what do we know? You can't give what you don't have. If you actually want to empower other people, it starts with empowering yourself. This is literally what neuroplasticity is. It's like taking new roads, building new pathways in your brain and your nervous system, in your unconscious and subconscious. And I'm telling you, it is the most rewarding thing in the world when you are just like, yes, I'm doing this. This is how your self-concept, which is your self-esteem on steroids, this is how it gets nurtured within you. You are like, I am no longer going to actively disempower myself. When you take on your inner saboteur, your patterns become really, really aware. You get to see, oh, I'm giving into that. You stop blaming things outside of you. You're like, oh, okay, I'm the CEO of me, instead of agreeing with the excuses the saboteur gives. Also, just like a hint for you, your inner saboteur, when you feel your inner authority or you feel a pull of like, hey, I want to do that. And then your inner saboteur goes, that's not really practical. You can't really afford that. Let's go ask other people what they think. Total inner saboteur move. Inner saboteurs, they will be like, you know what? You've had a bad day. You deserve to blow off work. You deserve to relax. And when you are like, no, like I do not disempower myself consciously anymore, it changes everything. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to succeed at this. And this is going to be my new page. This is my new story. Fear that comes up a lot with clients with this, they're worried a lot of times that like, okay, but if I do really good at this, then what happens if I don't succeed again? And it's like, then you have a billion other chances. When you have this reckoning, you are able to access capacities in yourself that you didn't even know that you had because you've been blocking it. Like you have been sabotaging access to your own inner reservoir of strengths and talents and your capacity to reach these higher and higher potentials and possibilities within yourself. To quote Rue, if you can't empower yourself, how the hell are you going to empower anybody else? And that is true unconsciously, subconsciously. when you are allowing self-sabotage or employing your inner saboteur, you are disempowering everything in your atmosphere. You're not doing it consciously, but it's definitely happening. It's like sort of like when people have BO and they can't smell it. Yeah, you have stinky self-sabotage. Are you wearing eau du saboteur? If this is tough for you to think about right now, if you are noticing that you are latching on to the illusion that empowering someone else means that you have less, if you are feeling like you don't have enough power, if you're nodding your head yes, listen closely because I might have the solution you've been searching for. My Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, a 6-week, highly individualized one-on-one coaching experience designed exclusively for perfectionists like you. Your perfectionism is actually your greatest asset, and leveraging it can be hard work or take years of guesswork. That's why in Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator, I give you my key frameworks to taking charge of your Ferrari drive, proven to work even for the most type A, high-strung, stubborn perfectionists. In the first 30 days, you will cut your burnout in half, increase your professional fulfillment by at least 150%, and your self-compassion will go up at least 250%. And that is just your first 30 days. So if you want to save yourself years of trial and error, go to CourtneyLoveGavin.com/accelerator today. Or if you want to take the easy way, just click the link in the show notes to check out the Perfectionism Rewired Accelerator.